You know Loki, the charismatic, kind of whiny villain from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yeah, forget him. That's his distant cousin, the cleaned-up version. The real Loki from Norse mythology is a whole different story. He's a god of pure chaos, a master of mischief who isn't looking for love or daddy's approval. His one and only goal: to watch the world burn. But in a ridiculously clever and, at times, extremely embarrassing way for all the other gods. This isn't some anti-hero looking for redemption. This is the king of chaos. And his story is way crazier than any Marvel movie. Get ready. First shocker: Loki isn't Odin's adopted son, and he's not Thor's brother. In fact, his origins are a total mess. He's the son of a giant named Farborti, who was probably a personification of lightning, and a goddess named Laufey, who might have been dry kindling. Basically, a ticking time bomb from birth. The fact that he was born to a giant and a goddess makes him a perpetual outsider, a character who's always balancing on the edge between good and evil, between the easier the gods and the giants their enemies. He's like a spy in their midst, a rebel who's part of the team but laughs at them behind their backs. Loki is a necessary evil, the one whose tricks keep things moving. This Loki is so wild that, in comparison, internet memes look boring. Loki and Odin. Okay, in the myths, they aren't blood brothers in the family sense. They took a sacred oath that bound them for life. Imagine two old drinking buddies who made a promise, a pact that Odin probably regretted every single day. Even with this bond, Loki had no problem getting in Odin's way and opposing his plans. Loki and Thor. In the mythology, they're not brothers, but traveling companions who barely tolerate each other. Thor is the brute force, Loki is the brains or the complete lack of it, depending on the situation. Their most famous story is when the giant Omar steals Thor's hammer, Mjolnir. Total panic in Asgard. Who solves the problem? Loki, of course. He comes up with a genius plan: disguise Thor as the goddess Freyja and send him to the giant's banquet. Just try to picture the god of thunder, with his big red beard, in Freyja's wedding dress and necklace. Now, picture Loki, disguised as a maid of honor, trying to explain away Thor's ravenous appetite. Don't worry about her. She hasn't eaten in 8 nights because of the wedding excitement. The plan works, and Thor gets his hammer back, but the humiliation. That's forever. The Wall of Asgard and the 8-legged horse. But the most unbelievable story that shows Loki's insanity is the one about the Wall of Asgard. A giant offers to build an impenetrable fortress in just 1 winter, and he can only use his horse, Sverjari, to help. When the gods realize the horse is doing all the work and the giant is about to win the bet and claim the goddess Freyja, the sun, and the moon, they threaten Loki with a terrible death if he doesn't fix the situation. So, what does our hero do? He transforms himself into a mare in heat to seduce Sverjari and distract him. The mission is a success. But the result? Loki becomes pregnant and gives birth to the 8-legged horse Sleipnir, who is then gifted to Odin as his personal steed. Yes, you heard that right. Odin's horse is Loki's son. Despite all the jokes, Loki isn't just a prankster. His darkest and most famous betrayal is the murder of Balder, the most beloved god in Asgard. The story is a bit like the tale of Achilles and his heel. Balder's mother, Frigg, had managed to make him invulnerable to everything except mistletoe, which she considered too insignificant to do any harm. Loki, who had disguised himself as an old woman, discovers this secret and convinces Balder's blind brother, HR, to throw a mistletoe dart at him. Boom! Balder falls to the ground, dead. But that's not all. When the gods try to get Balder back from the realm of the dead, the goddess Hel agrees on one condition: every single creature in the world must weep for him. Everyone does, except for a giantess who is actually Loki in disguise again, who refuses to shed a single tear, dooming Balder to remain in the realm of the dead. This act of pure, ruthless malice is the point of no return that makes Loki a true villain. Loki's chaos doesn't stop with him. With the giantess Angerboa, he fathers a family from a nightmare: the wolf Fenrir, the world serpent Jormungandr, and the goddess of death Hel. The gods, of course, learn about the prophecies that announce these 3 monsters will bring about their downfall. Their solution? To try and contain them. Odin throws the serpent into the ocean, exiles Hel to her realm of the dead, and the gods try to chain the wolf, who in revenge bites off the hand of the god Tyr. The irony is that the more they tried to stop their fate, the more they were creating it. These monsters, mistreated and confined, would become their worst enemies at Ragnarok, the end of times. And then there's Loki's wife, Sigyn. We often forget about her. After capturing him, the gods tie him to 3 rocks and place a venomous snake above his head. The poison drips onto his face, but Sigyn, with a loyalty that goes beyond all limits, sits by his side, patiently holding a bowl to catch the poison. When the bowl fills, she has to empty it, and in those brief moments, the venom that drips onto Loki's face causes him such violent spasms that the earth shakes. Sigyn is a point of calm in all his chaos, the woman who never abandons him, even in his eternal agony. Loki's imprisonment isn't forever. It's prophesied that he will break free from his chains at the beginning of Ragnarok, the final battle that will end the world. He will lead the army of monsters, including his own children, and face his nemesis, the god Heimdallr, in a final duel. They will kill each other, putting an end to their ancient rivalry. The Loki of mythology is a symbol of a fundamental paradox, the necessity of chaos for progression and change. His figure survives because the paradox he represents is immortal.